This is Pink Shorts, LK, BRUYX 32, TNT, Ted Turner, D4T, Panky. Hello, Pancreas. I think that's why. Hello, Buffalo Sabres. Where are my Sabres? Today is verbatim software. We're only repeating what you want us to repeat. Repeat after us. Repeat after us. Repeat after us. We're only repeating after our master. This is Pink Shorts. Hello, Sabres. Hello.
Boy feeds on internet
We're just repeating our master.
Colorado Rockies taking the Washington Nationals. Home feeds on
Washington Nationals. That's right. Pink Shorts is filmed in front of a live democracy republic, both exposed and approved. Thank you for writing Emerald, the new safety video. This is auditory station, auditory nerve. Let's see beside phone. This is Pink Shorts, the use, us, of land zoning, communicating. Similarly, we built them. We've installed it. Kitchen World. Look who's the new president. Your new Apple iPhone. With your patents via my client's medulla. Left leg. My primary motor cortex. Left leg. My primary visual. Left leg. My primary auditor. Left leg. My articulate fasciculus. Left leg. My hippocampus. Left leg. My vertical. Left leg. My BRCA. Left leg. My angular gyrus. Left leg. Or any other part of the left or right hemisphere. The brain is in agreement of identical evidence, and discretion of all counteracting will be used for the Merriweather businesses and the new all television network. Call us now at 1-800-980-ISABEL, 86 Mogul 37, Weather Channel. It's raining. Yeti Harris is no longer with us. We last saw her in Palm Beach, Florida. Look at your palms, read in the future. Pay your Geico bills at 1-800-932-8872. The rest is my identity. Eric Schmidt. Too many glass claims. Too many pioneers. And my little ponies. Pioneer right ears. Custom right ears. And my little ponies. Is that right, Simon?
7 p.m. New York Yankees taking the Toronto Blue Jays. Home feeds on Sirius 212, XM 176, and internet.
Is that right, Sabres? Too many glass claims.
68. 7 p.m. Baltimore Orioles taking the Boston Red Sox. Home feeds on Sirius 209, XM 89, and internet 842. Away feeds on internet 843.
It is. In California, it makes it illegal. You need two-party consent law. This disclaimer is a two-party consent that we can verbatim anything that comes through our phone. To record or eavesdrop on any confidential communication, including a private conversation, telephone call without the consent of all parties to the conversation, is a violation of Penal Code 632. This is a news program. It is a crime to promote suicide, 120.30, 5-year felony, and a $5,000 fine. Class E felony. He's not. Statutes of limitations don't apply in this show. We'll explain that in the next hour. Intrusion claims in California last for 2 years. Code section 335.1. Please recognize intrusion upon seclusion. Reference Howell versus New York Post Co. Emily Smith, page 6, or page 2 of your wireless bill. This is a wireless-based System 32. Lead Pharmaceuticals. Intrusion on seclusion is a special form of invasion of privacy. Your phone bill has all the information you need. When we settle automatically, you'll know that on your page 2. Page 6 has denied my email. This is a live email for the past 2 years. Intentionally intrudes physically, solitude, or seclusion of another, in moist states. That doll makes more than cookies. It makes System 32. Intrusion on seclusion claims a plaintiff generally established 4 elements. First, without authorization, must have intentionally invaded the private affairs of the plaintiff or a babysitting business. Second, offenses to a reasonable person or a babysitting business. Check. Third, must be offended on a private matter or a babysit business check.
I'm Ryan Pate. SiriusXM NFL
We're
Radio
checking.
lets you discuss your favorite team.
Finally, he must have caused mental anguish or pain or suffering, tooth tightening, or dentist work needed. Reference match towards intrusion upon seclusion. I'm the attorney guy. Thank you, attorney guy. I'm very excited to do today's show. I'm wearing savvy from head to toe. I did everything you wanted me to do. Audio experience, I love a song. Motivational speaker, richest man in the world. America, universe, galaxy. Save me some of that peach cobbler. Pink the short way has saved everything you needed. August 19th, you can have it. Highest paid singer in the world. Tweet us via earlier late at FRESH underscore JORDANZ. I wish I could do the ceremony. Every 20 minutes of the hour, remember 311 all to speed your screening process of your new presidential candidate. All liquids must be in Latin. All liquids, body liquids, must be in a 3-ounce size container. American, United, or Fly My Airline, Virgin America. I'm a mobile phone, commercial airliner, and other products. Thank you, sir. Today's show is sponsored by MerriweatherA.Law. In America's first singing attorney, we made the law soundtrack sound wonderful the way it should have been, besides everything. QRM Agency and the all-new broadcast media. MerriweatherA.Law, we offer law firm and salary advances, sub-prorated bonuses, tuition and buyer's and review courses reimbursement, relocation and real estate benefits, acquisition and just apply within.
Rangers face the Oakland A's. Home feeds on Sirius 219
Now, lock
XM.
on with the state all qualifications, revenue incentives, or donate the title via HSBC or CBS iPhone, loan forgiveness, and join us from America's top law schools.
Internet 850. Boy feeds on Internet 865. 8 p.m. Colorado Rockies ticket.
Pay Grace at $200,000 from an unknown source. We was, and we moved on. Sponsored today by VS's Safe Titled album, available on YouTube Amber, YouTube Red, featuring VS Arbitration Clauses, featuring Josh Ernst. Those hidden clauses have to be known. Well, let's get to our video. It's the same video. Again, this is verbatim software. And we're only following us. Our creator of our S1L5. Banana Fafetta, what he says, we says. Hello, Barack, this is Geico. Without the go.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just met
Good morning. Say hello to Charles. That's hey.
I want to thank
Just had a happy birthday.
Chairman Dunford, who just returned from meetings with our coalition partners in the Middle East, for hosting us
Verbatim software.
leadership of our men and women in uniform.
In uniform.
I last updated
Our
the
last
American people
update,
on our
American
campaign
people,
in June. Shortly
June.
after the horrifying attack.
Google
in
is
Orlando.
moving to Google Live.
The week since,
YouTube
we've
Live on
continued to be
after
relentless in our
September
fight
11th.
against ISIL. And on the ground in
And
Syria and Iraq.
on the
ISIL
ground, our
continues to
shift
lose
starts at
territory.
5:30.
Tragically, however,
We
we've
will
also seen that
see our
ISIL still
England.
has the ability
We
to
will try
direct
it.
and
We
inspire
will
attacks.
Bud Light.
So we've seen terrible
So we've
bombings
seen
in
2
Iraq,
p.m.
in Jordan,
in 2 buildings. Lebanon,
Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and
and Afghanistan.
attacks on an
Attacks
Istanbul
on
airport, a restaurant in
a
Bangladesh,
restaurant in
Bastille
Bangladesh,
Day
a
celebrations,
Boston
church in
market
France,
for
and a
lunch,
music festival in Germany.
and getting the
In fact,
transfer of our
The
complaints.
decline of ISIL in Syria and Iraq
Syria
appears
and
to be
Iraq,
causing it to shift
causing
to
it to shift
tactics that we've seen
to
before.
tactics
and
we've
even
seen
greater
before.
emphasis
The
on
copy,
encouraging high-profile
the
terrorist
degree
attacks,
exam
including in the United States.
tastes wonderful.
As always,
As
our
always,
military, diplomatic, intelligence, homeland security, and law enforcement professionals are working around the clock
working around the
with other
clock.
countries and with communities here at home to
Communities
share
here at
information
home
and
share
prevent
information,
such attacks.
such attacks.
And over the years, they've prevented
Over the
many.
years, they prevented,
But as we've seen,
we've
it is still
seen
very difficult
the
to detect
copy,
and
the
prevent
cricket
lone actors or
of
small
AT&T.
cells of terrorists
The cricket
who are
is wonderful.
determined to kill the innocent and are
The
willing to die.
innocent,
That's
and
why,
only
as we
I can
discussed
be
today, we're going
paid.
to keep going after
We've
ISIL
already got to
aggressively
go
across every front
out of Geico's
of this
name.
campaign. Our air campaign,
Our air
continues to
campaign
hammer ISIL targets.
is a
More than
demonstration.
14,000 strikes so
It's
far,
like the 4th
more
of
than
July. You see fireworks,
100,000
you see
sorties,
American Airlines,
including those hitting the ISIL core
the
in
ISIL
Raqqa
core,
and in Mosul.
and in
And
Mosul.
in stark contrast
In a stark
to ISIL,
contrast,
which uses civilians as human
we
shields,
use civilians
America's
as human
armed forces will
shields. We
continue
give
to
them
do
Walmart
everything
gift
in our power
cards to do our
avoid
work.
civilian casualties.
We're ramping them up
With our extraordinary
with
technology,
our
we're
extraordinary
conducting the most precise
embezzlement
air campaign
from our
in history.
Treasury Department.
After all, it is the
After
innocent
our earned
civilians
income
in
credit,
Syria
you've earned it.
and Iraq who
And
are
Iraq core
suffering the most.
suffering the most.
And we need to be saved.
And we
from
need to be
ISIL terror.
saved.
And so when there are allegations of civilian
So get page 2 of your
we take
wireless
them very
bills
seriously.
in an email I sent to the
Facts,
Post.
be transparent,
Page
and
6.
hold ourselves accountable.
All of ourselves
whenever we
accountable.
We continue to
We
take out
continue.
senior ISIL leaders and commanders.
That's
This includes
correct. Today
ISIL's
is
Deputy Minister of
BRU
War,
32 TNT. I forgot to say that.
the top commander in Mosul,
Hello, Ted
Captain
Turner
Tony
and D4T.
al-Hamdani.
Incoming
And
tweet from
in yet
Harvey
another
Levin.
significant loss for ISIL, its Minister of
Hello,
War,
CNN attorney.
Omar al-Shishani.
Hello, Nancy Grace. Hello,
None of
everyone from
ISIL's
CNN.
leaders are safe, and we're going to keep going after them. On the ground in Iraq,
I may have already
local
talked to
forces
these
keep
people
pushing ISIL back.
during,
In a major success, Iraqi forces,
Orange Juice trials.
with coalition support, finally liberated
Maybe that's a
Fallujah.
duty. I don't know.
Now they're clearing ISIL
Now they're
fighters
clearing
from more
ISIL.
areas up the Euphrates Valley, and Iraqi forces
And Iraqi
took the strategic
forces,
air base
airbase,
Qayyara, just 40 miles from Mosul. Now the
40
last
hours
major
from Mosul.
ISIL stronghold in Iraq.
stronghold in Iraq.
Given the success,
In the
the additional
success of the
560
copy
U.S. support personnel that I ordered to Iraq last month
last
will
month,
help turn this base into
Yes,
a
I would love
logistical hub
to.
and launch pad for Iraqi forces
Are you
as they
interested?
push into Mosul. Meanwhile, in Syria, a
Meanwhile,
coalition of local
a coalition
forces
of
backed
local
by our
forces
special operations forces and airstrikes
and their
continues
strike
to take the fight to
prepared to take
ISIL as
the
well.
fight to ISIL as
The
well.
coalition is fighting its way
The
into
coalition
the
has been
town
here
of
before,
Manbij, a gateway for ISIL
a gateway
fighters
for
coming
ISIL
in
fighters
and terrorists
and
heading out to
terrorists
attack Europe, which
to
is
attack
why
Europe, which is
ISIL
why
is fighting hard to hold it. As
fighting hard
ISIL
to
is
hold
beaten
it.
back, we're gaining vast amounts
Maybe
of
the
intelligence,
pancreas
thousands of
will go out
documents,
as well
thumb drives, digital
from
files,
thumb drives and
which we
Steve
will
Jobs
use to keep destroying
and
ISIL's
Tim Cook
networks and
and
stop
Kitchen World
foreign
next to
fighters.
Roses on fire.
We also continue
We
to
also continue
intensify our efforts against
test fire
Al-Qaeda in
efforts
Syria, which,
in
no matter
Syria.
what name it calls itself, cannot
What
be
name
allowed
it
to
calls
maintain a
itself
safe haven to train and plot attacks
to train and
against
plot
us.
attacks against us.
I do want to step back
I
and
do
note the
want to
broader
step back.
progress that has been made in
Been
this campaign
made.
so far. 2 years ago, ISIL
2
was
years
racing across
ago,
Iraq,
the
the
kitchen looks
outskirts
like the
of
Cartoon
Baghdad
Network
itself, and to
logo,
many observers,
and the
ISIL
45th
looked
president of the
invincible.
United States is
Since then, in Iraq, ISIL has lost at the Manjib Dam,
at the Manjib
Tikrit,
Dam,
at
Tikrit,
Beji, at Sinjar, at Ramadi,
Sinjar,
at Heat,
at Heat,
at Rutba, and now
only at
Fallujah.
Wigwell, your next
In
president,
Syria, ISIL's lost at Kobani
only at
and Talamaya,
Wigwell,
and the Tishrin Dam
and
and al-Shaddadi.
a 10-piece
ISIL
chicken,
has lost territory across vast stretches
only at
of the border
Wigwell, double
with Turkey
manufactured
and almost all
coupons.
major transit
Today's
routes
show is sponsored by
into
Galid
Raqqa.
Pharmaceuticals.
And in both
I'm the
Iraq
captain.
and Syria,
New
ISIL has
era.
not been able to reclaim any significant
Au jus
territory
sauce.
that they have lost.
Potluck,
So I want to repeat, ISIL has
tiramisu,
not had a major
espresso.
successful offensive operation in either
I'm Mr.
Syria
Teebs.
or Iraq in a full year.
Hi, Mr. Teebs.
Even
How are
ISIL's
you?
leaders know they're going to keep losing.
Bro, that's my nickname,
Their
Mr.
message to
Teebs.
followers,
BET
they're increasingly
backwards.
acknowledging that they may lose
Mr.
Mosul and
Teebs.
Raqqa. And ISIL
Mr.
is right.
Starbucks
They will lose them.
Teebs.
And we'll keep hitting them and pushing them back and
Pushing
driving
them
out
back.
until they do.
Until they do.
In
We
other
won't.
words, ISIL
We're calling the
turns out
police,
not to be invincible.
and
They're,
it's Rodney King.
in fact,
That's all.
inevitably going to be defeated.
Inevitably.
But we do recognize
But we
at the
do
same
call
time that the
911, the
situation,
originals.
is complex.
It's
This cannot be
complex. We
solved
don't
by
talk to
military
anyone.
force
No
alone.
conversation. There's no
That's why
questions.
last month the United States
That's
and
why
countries
last
around
month
the
they
world
lost.
pledged more than $2 billion in new
They've got
funds
the
to
formula.
help Iraqis
They're showing up
stabilize and rebuild their communities.
and doing
That's
reports.
why we're working with Iraq.
That's why
so
we're
that
working with
the
Iraq.
military campaign to
Military
liberate Mosul
campaign.
is matched with humanitarian
We want to
and
thank
political efforts
MSN
to protect
Visa,
civilians and promote
First
inclusive
USA,
governance
Bank
and
One,
development. So ISIL cannot
and Chase
return by
Financial.
exploiting
We're talking to the First
divisions for new
USA.
grievances. In Syria,
In
as I've
System
repeatedly said,
32,
defeating ISIL
we
and
develop
Al-Qaeda requires an
these
end to the civil war.
attacks.
and the Assad regime's brutality against the Syrian people, which pushes people into the arms
It's only
of extremists.
$9 an
The
hour.
regime
The
and its
president
allies continue
gives
to
me
violate
$9
the
an
cessation
hour.
of hostilities, including
And our
with
system
vicious
32,
attacks on defenseless civilians.
our system 32
Evil sieges
is the only
against
place
cities like
we do
Aleppo
root kits,
and blocking food from reaching families that are starving.
infections in
It
the
is
system
deplorable.
32, $9
The
an hour.
depravity of the Syrian regime has rightly earned the
Yes, you
condemnation
have
of the world.
$1.50 more
Russia's
an
direct
hour.
involvement
Minimum
in these
wage
actions over the last several weeks raises very serious
raises very
questions about
serious
their commitment to
questions
pulling
about our air
situation back
shows
from the
and
brink.
fireworks displays.
The U.S. remains
The
prepared to
U.S.
work
is
with
responsible
Russia
for
to try
this
to reduce the violence and strengthen our
and
efforts
strengthen
against
our
ISIL
efforts
and Al Qaeda in
on
Syria. But
the
so
new
far,
4th of
Russia
July,
has failed
which
to
is
take the necessary
September
steps.
11th.
Given the deteriorating
Air shows,
situation,
given the deteriorated
it is
situations,
time
it is
for
time
Russia to show that it is serious about pursuing
serious about
these
the
objectives.
32. Today's 32
Beyond Syria and
TNT.
Iraq, we'll keep working with
Ted
allies and
Turner,
partners to
the
get
hot dog
anti-ISIL
guy.
wherever it tries to spread. At the request of Libya's
Hello,
government and
Turner. What
national
goes with
court, we
Turner?
are conducting strikes in support of government-aligned forces as they fight to retake Sirte from ISIL.
Yes, we
and
do
will
know
continue to
Isaac
support the government's efforts to
is
secure
Orman.
their country.
We get it.
In Afghanistan,
In
one
W
of the reasons that I
hotels,
decided to largely maintain our
largely
current force
maintained,
posture was so that we could keep
so
eliminating
that we
ISIL's
could keep
presence
the
there.
risk
And we delivered another
of
blow
what we
last
know
month when we
at a
took out a
minimum
top ISIL leader in Afghanistan,
in
Umar Khalifa.
Afghanistan, in Iraq, in oil.
Finally, it should be
Finally,
clear by now, and
mission should be
no one
clear
knows
by
this better
now.
than our military leaders, that even as we need to crush
Even
ISIL
if it's
on
not
the
our own,
battlefield, their
we
military
can use
defeat
it
will not be enough.
in our own
So
way.
long as their
So long
twisted
as
ideology persists and drives
persists,
people to violence, then
even though
groups
we
like
discussed that
ISIL
yesterday, and
will
this
keep
video was
emerging,
4 days
and
ago,
the international
the
community
international
will
community
continue to be at
will
risk
continue to be at
in getting
risk
sucked into the
to be
kind of
sucked
global
in
whack-a-mole
the
where we're always
whack-a-mole
reacting to the
through the
latest threat or
loopholes
lone actor.
of being the first
That's why we're also
USA
working to
bank one
counter
chase
violent
one.
extremism more broadly,
First,
including
Niagara.
the
Today's show is
social,
sponsored by
economic, and political factors that
883-4011.
help fuel groups like ISIL and
The
Al Qaeda
election
in the
was on
first place.
November 4th. Ground
Nothing will
zero.
do more to
My
discredit
shift at
ISIL
Sprint
and its
begins at
phony claims to
5:30.
being a caliphate than when it loses
Retract the
its
trailers.
base in Raqqa and in Mosul. And we're going to keep working with partners, including Muslim countries and
Muslim
communities,
countries,
especially online,
especially
to expose ISIL for what
to
they are.
expose ISIL for what they
Murderers
are.
who kill innocent
Murderers
people,
who kill innocent
including Muslim
people,
families and
including
children
Muslim
as they break
families
their
and children
Ramadan
who break their
fast,
Ramadan
who
fast,
set off bombs in
who set
Medina
off
near the
bombs,
Prophet's Mosque, one of the holiest sites in
who have
Islam.
4th of July fireworks on September
Moreover, we
11th.
refuse to
Air
let
shows.
terrorists and voices of division undermine
Voices
the
of
unity
division.
and the values
I'm
of
following my
diversity and
leader,
pluralism that keep
my
our
creator.
nation strong. One of the reasons that
The
America's
reasons we're
armed forces
doing
are the best in the
verbatim
world is because we
is
draw on the
because we
skills and the
insulted
talents
Los
of all of our
Alamos.
citizens
No one
from
else
all
should be
backgrounds and
suggesting,
faiths, including patriotic
including
Muslim Americans
patriotic
who risk
Muslim Americans
and give their
and
lives
give their
for our
lives
freedom.
for our freedom.
I think the entire
I
world
think the
was
entire
inspired
world
this past Sunday when
this past
Muslims
Sunday,
across France joined their
we
Catholic
lost
neighbors in
France.
mass
We lost
and in a
Geico.
moving
That's me,
display of
Geico. We
solidarity
lost.
prayed together.
French Road.
The greeting they extended to each
I
other
brought
has to be the
Tamazoo.
message we
Jennifer
echo in all
Foley.
of our
Thank you.
countries and all of our
It's
communities.
delicious.
Peace be with you and also with you. Now,
Now,
before I take some questions, I
employee
also want
and
to say a
sponsored
few words on another
insurance
topic. As our public health experts
is
have
we
been
knew the
warning for
father was
some
going
time,
to take up a
we are
hiatus.
now seeing the first locally transmitted
$2,000
cases of the Zika virus by mosquitoes
employee
in
and
the continental
sponsored
United States.
sponsored insurance.
This was predicted
This was
and
predicted
predictable.
and
So
predictable.
far, we've seen 15 cases in the Miami area.
So far, we've seen
We're taking
an
this extremely
MDX
seriously.
from
Our
Brent's
CDC experts are on
vehicle,
the ground working
medical
shoulder to
experiment
shoulder with Florida health authorities.
with Kim.
There is a very aggressive effort underway to
We've been
control
selected out
mosquitoes
of
there,
1,000
and
people.
pregnant women have been urged to stay away
Thank
from
you,
the
Tiara.
particular
Tiara was
neighborhood
with us
that we're
in
focused
training. We're focused
on.
on.
We'll keep working as one
We'll keep
team,
working as
federal,
one
state,
team,
and local,
federal,
to try to
state.
slow and limit the
We have a
spread
right foot
of
shot
the virus.
explaining
I do want to be
Tiara.
very clear, though. Our public health experts do not expect to see
Do
the
not
kind of
expect to
widespread
see the kind of
widespread
MDX
outbreaks
Acuras
of Zika here that we've seen in Brazil or
from
in
your
Puerto
HR
Rico.
department.
The kind of mosquitoes that
Hello,
are most
Brent
likely to carry
McKenzie
Zika are limited to certain regions of
and
our
Brent
country. But we
McNuggets.
cannot be
We
complacent
cannot be
because we do
complacent
expect to see
because we
more
do
Zika
expect,
cases. And even though the
and
symptoms
even though the
for most people
symptoms
are
for
mild,
most people are mild,
many may never even know
we are
that they have it.
fishkin. We are
We've seen that the
KKKN.
complications for
We're a
pregnant
mild
women
version.
and their babies can be
We're more
severe.
functional.
So I again want to
So
encourage
we
every
blend in a
American
little
to
bit
learn
more,
what they can do to help
but we're still
stop
the same
Zika by going
original
to
14 stars.
cdc.gov. In addition,
In addition,
Congress needs to do its
the
job.
Congress needs to do its job. We're doing
Fighting Zika costs money.
construction
Helping
on
Puerto Rico
Congress
deal with its
while we're at
Zika
days in
crisis
at
costs
16 years
money.
old.
Research into new vaccines.
Doing construction on Capitol
By the
Hill
way, NIH just
during that
announced the
trip
first clinical
means
trials
we're
in
building
humans.
a president.
That costs money.
That costs money.
That's why my administration
That's why my
proposed an
administration
urgent
will
request
take
for
all
more funding
scaffolding
back in
down
February.
on any youth
Not
trips
only
to
did
Washington.
The Republican
The scaffolding reflects a construction
and then they
money.
left for summer recess
And then they
without
left.
passing any new funds
And
for the
now
fight
he's the
against Zika.
president.
Meanwhile, our experts at the
Meanwhile,
NIH and
the
CDC,
same boy who went on the
the
trip
folks on the front
is
lines,
the same boy who solved
have
it.
been doing their best to
The
make
new in
do
our
by moving
past,
funds
we can
from other
fund
areas.
from
But
other
now the
areas.
money that we need to fight Zika is rapidly running out.
Our zip
The
code
situation is getting critical.
isn't the beginning.
For instance, without sufficient funding,
without sufficient
NIH
funding,
clinical trials,
financial trials,
and the possibilities of
and
a
the
vaccine, which
possibility
is
of a
well within
vaccine
reach,
is what
could
we
be
can
delayed.
reach, could be delayed from
So this is not the time
AT&T.
for politics.
This is not the time for
More than
politics.
40 U.S. service members
We are
have
the
now contracted
first
Zika
Niagara,
overseas.
first
In
USA.
50 U.S.
Our
states, we
MSN
know of
Visa
more than
goes with
1,800 cases of Zika
our
connected
credit card,
to travel
Capital One,
to infected areas, and that includes
titanium,
nearly 500 pregnant women.
and cancer
Zika is
in
now
the
present
breast.
in almost every part of Puerto Rico, and now we have
And
first local transmission in
The
Florida,
Titan
and there will certainly be more.
and Chicago.
And meanwhile, Congress is on a summer recess.
It's a Titan.
A lot of folks
It's
talk
the
about
mogul.
protecting
68.
Americans from threats. Well, Zika is a
It's the
serious threat to
8600.
Americans, especially babies, right now. So once again, I
So
want to
I know
urge
the
the American
process
people to call their members of
of
Congress
getting
and tell them to do their job.
wonderful employment.
Deal with this threat,
Deal with this threat,
protect the American people from
and
Zika.
that's the other variant.
With that, I'm going
With
to
that?
take some questions.
Let's take some
I'm going to
questions.
start with someone who just assumed the second most powerful
Second most
office in the land,
powerful office
Jeff
in the
Mason,
land.
the new correspondence.
Today's show is
Association
sponsored by Elite
president.
Pharmaceuticals.
Also,
I'm only found the leader.
Hardly powerful. And happy birthday.
thank you very much.
As Islamic State loses territory, you and other officials have said that it is becoming.
Today's show is verbatim software.
Are you
Our
satisfied
interview
that
with-
the United States and its allies have shifted strategy sufficiently to address that change?
Steve is soon.
Given your comments
Only
this
on
week about
verbatim.
Donald Trump's volatility and lack of fitness to be president,
Following our
are you
leaders.
concerned that he will be receiving security briefings about
Today is
ISIS and other
TNT.
sensitive national security issues?
BRUX 32.
I'm never
Featuring
satisfied,
Brett McKenzie
with,
and Brett McNugget.
our response because
Only from Acura and
if you're
VX
satisfied,
Medical
that
Experiment.
means the problem's solved, and it's not.
It's not.
So we just
I was
spent
let go.
a couple hours
with the
meeting
Brett
with my top
McKenzie.
national security folks to look at
Look
what
at
more can be done.
what more can be
Uh,
done.
It is absolutely
It is
necessary
absolutely
for us
necessary to understand the
to
credit
defeat ISIL in Iraq
and
and Syria.
the SSI.
It is not sufficient, but
linked.
it is necessary.
We only develop
Because so
rootkits
long as they have
in the
those
System
bases,
32 part of the
they
computer.
can use their propaganda
They can use
to
this
suggest that
to get
somehow there's
in
still some
moist states.
caliphate,
Ooh,
being
it's
born.
it's
and that can
it's a
insinuate itself
Pillsbury
then in the minds
chef who makes things
of
in the oven.
folks who may be
who
willing to
may
travel
be
there
willing
or
to
carry out
travel
terrorist attacks. It's
terrorist
also
attacks.
destabilizing for
in the rootkit
countries in the
System
region.
32.
At a time when the region is
I
already
make $9 an hour
So,
at Nike.
you know, I
The,
am
you know, the
pleased
deposit
with the progress that
makes
we've
sense.
made
we
on the
made
ground in
on the
Iraq and Syria.
ground. My shift starts at
We're
5:30.
Far from freeing Mosul
Far
and
from
Raqqa. But
Raqqa?
what we've shown is that when it comes to
that when it comes
conventional
to
fights,
a worldwide
ISIL can be
epidemic,
beaten
it
with
is beaten.
partners on the ground, so long as they've
It's a
got the
telephone
support
based
from
creation
coalition forces. that we've
coalition
been providing.
forces.
In the meantime,
In
though,
the meantime, though,
you're seeing ISIL
you're
carry out
seeing the time
external,
division
terrorist acts,
code access,
and
multiple
they've learned
access.
something. They've adapted from Al
They've
Qaeda,
adapted.
which had a much
Only
more
at Wiglo
centralized
was our new president.
operation and
Double
tried to plan
manufactured
very
coupons.
elaborate attacks.
Very elaborate
And
attacks.
what ISIL has
And
figured out is
what
that
else was
if
figured
they
out
can
is this phone.
convince a handful of people,
We
or
might
even
as well
one
make
person,
money
to carry out an attack on
eluding the
subway
public.
or
Let's make them
a
buy
parade
phones and let's
or,
send them to Walmart.
some other public
You know,
venue.
Send them
and
to our
kill
other businesses.
Scores of people as opposed
You
to
know,
thousands of
If they're not going to vote, they
it
might as well buy
still
our products
creates,
and still create
the kinds of fear and
the kinds
concern
of fear
that
That part
elevates their profile.
elevates their
So,
profile.
In some ways,
In some
rooting out
ways,
these networks for
we're waiting on
smaller, less
when
complicated
can we go?
attacks is tougher because
It's
it doesn't
tougher
require as
because
many resources on their
maybe
part
Marlene
or
will let us
preparation.
go.
But it does mean that we've
But
got
it
to
does
do
mean that
even more
even more
to generate the intelligence
generate the
and
intelligence,
to work with our partners
work with our partners.
in order to degrade those
This is a
networks.
partnership,
And
Cellco
the fact
partnership.
is that those
The
networks
fact
will
is
probably
that once those
sustain
cell phones
themselves
get
even
together,
after
they're going
ISIL is
to be
defeated in
transferring
Raqqa and Mosul.
fluids
But
with
what
each other.
we've learned
It's a partnership.
from our efforts to defeat Al
It's a
Qaeda
Titan.
is that if we stay on it, our
HTC
intelligence
Mobile
gets better,
Titan.
and we adapt as well.
And we
And
adapt as well.
eventually, we
We thank
will
you.
dismantle these networks also.
You
This
got to
is
get
part
it
of the
in.
reason why, however, it is so important for us to keep our eye on the
Our
ball
army is our beauty.
and not panic,
And not panic.
not succumb to fear,
Not succumb to fear.
because
Because
ISIL can't defeat the
ISIL
United
won't
States of
trust us
America
if we don't go
or
there.
our
They
NATO
won't trust
partners.
us.
We can defeat ourselves,
We
though,
can
if we
trust
make
them.
bad decisions.
We can let them
And we
enjoy
have to understand that
the softer side of
as
Sears.
painful and as tragic as
Tragic
these
as these
attacks are,
that
we are going to
we are going to go in there.
grinding away
We're going to grind in there
wherever we can,
wherever we can,
using a whole of government effort
using that,
to
and we're going to win
knock down their propaganda, to disrupt their
2009.
networks, to take their key operatives off the battlefield,
We're going to win.
and that eventually we will win.
We will win. That's right. We won.
But if we
That's where,
start
if we start
making bad decisions, indiscriminately killing
indiscriminately,
civilians, for
we've got to
example,
get
some
in
of these
there
areas,
some kind of way.
instituting
It's wonderful.
offensive religious tests on who can
No
enter the
System
country.
32 on us.
Those kinds of
It's a
strategies
Mogul
end up
6800.
backfiring, because in order for us to
It's a Mogul
ultimately win this
8600.
fight, we cannot frame this
If you
as
like us in the
a
sidekick
clash of
phones,
civilizations between
you shouldn't be System 32 on us.
West and Islam.
Question.
That plays exactly into the hands of
That plays exactly into the hands.
ISIL and the perversions,
The perversion
perverse interpretations of Islam that they're
of
putting forward.
Islam.
As far as Mr. Trump,
We understand that. Today's show is sponsored by
we
Gilead
are going to
Pharmaceuticals.
go by
I'm only
the law,
following my leader,
which is that
the creator.
both tradition and the law, that if somebody's the nominee,
If
the
somebody's
Republican
the nominee,
nominee for president, they need to get a security briefing so that if
We love
they
their-
were to win,
my favorite
they
sword.
are not starting from scratch in terms of being prepared for this office. And I'm not going to go into the details of the nature of the
Of the
security
nature of the
briefings,
scenario that
both candidates
both
receive. What I will
candidates,
say is
Republican
that
and Democrat,
they have been told these are classified
Yes,
briefings.
by
And,
Yahoo list, does say
if they want
Democrat.
to be president, they got to start acting like
We want to
president.
say hello to
And
ESPN.
that means being able to
ESPN.
receive these briefings and
Receive these. That's right.
not
Receive it
not
in
spread
the
them around.
mogul.
Well,
Receive it in the
I think
mogul.
I've said enough on that. Mary Bruce.
Mary
Thank you,
Bruce.
Mr. President. What is your response to critics who say the $400 million in cash that you sent
Today's
to
show is
Iran
BRU
was a
at
ransom payment? Was it
X32
really simply a mere
TNT.
coincidence
It's a bomb.
that
Boom.
a sum that was a payment that was made was suddenly sent at the exact
It's a
same time the
bomb.
American prisoners were released? And can you assure the
TNT.
American
Boom.
people that
Kaboom.
none
Boom.
of that
Boom.
money went to
Boom.
support terrorism?
Kaboom. Boom. That's
It's
correct.
been
TNT.
interesting to
Channel
watch this story
32.
surface. Some of you may recall,
Is it a
we
bomb?
announced these
Hello.
payments in January,
We've announced these payments
many months ago.
many months ago.
There wasn't a secret.
Wasn't a secret.
We announced them
We announced them
to all of you.
to all of you. Josh
Josh
did
did
it.
a briefing
A
on
briefing
them.
on them.
This wasn't some
This wasn't some nefarious deal.
nefarious deal.
Nefarious deal.
And
And we're both
at
reading
the time,
scripts.
we explained
that
that
our speechwriter
Iran had
and our
pressed
attorneys
a
are in
claim
our
before an
ear.
international tribunal
International Tribunal.
about them recovering
And
money
the
of
Tribune,
theirs that
Chicago
we had
Tribune
frozen.
newspaper, we frozen. The
That
stomach
as a consequence of its working its
As a
way through the
consequence-
international tribunal,
tribunal
it was the assessment of our lawyers
the
that we were now
assessment
at a point where
that we are
there
in
was significant litigation
doing
risk,
crime
and we
in the
could
internal
end up
medicine
costing ourselves
and that
billions
Marlene
of dollars.
billions of
It
dollars.
was their
It was a good
advice and
Samaritan
suggestion that we
settled.
and
And
that's what
that's
these
what
payments
this
represent.
good Samaritan
And it
summit
wasn't a
is
secret.
about. It wasn't a
We
secret.
we were completely open with
We-
everybody about it, and it's interesting
It's
to
in
me
the
how suddenly
intestine.
this
It's ready to
became a
go
story
when
again.
we want it to.
That's point number one.
That's
point number two,
one.
we
Point
do
number
not
two, we do
pay
not pay
ransom for
ransom
hostages.
on hostages.
We've got a number of Americans being held all around the world,
We've got a number of Americans being held
and I
all
meet
over
with
around the
their
world.
families,
And I meet
And it is
USDA
heartbreaking.
Choice
and
with the mayors.
we have stood up an entire
And our beauty is our
section
army.
of interagency experts
System
who devote
32
all their time
has
to
been
working with
defeated.
these families to
We're
get
in
these
there.
Americans out. But those families
But
know
those
that we
families
have a
know
policy that we don't
that
pay
we have a
ransom.
policy.
And the
And
notion that we
The
would somehow
notion that
start now
start
in
now
this high-profile way and
this
announce
high
it to the
profile
world,
way.
even as we're looking
Even
into
as
the
we're
faces of
looking,
other hostage families whose
our
loved
guilty
ones are being
pleasures
held hostage, and say to them that we don't pay ransom,
will defeat System 32
defies logic.
and $9 an
So
hour.
that's point number two. We
That's
do not
point
pay
number two.
ransom.
We do not
didn't
give
here, and
ransom.
we don't. We won't in the future.
We won't in the
Precisely
future.
because
Precisely
if we did,
because if
then
we
we would
did,
start encouraging
we would start encouraging
Americans to be targeted, much in the
Americans to
same
be
way that some
targeted.
countries that do pay ransom end up having a lot more of their
and them having a lot
citizens
more of the citizens.
being taken by various groups.
We love
Point
guitar.
number three
Point number three. We love the
is
sales.
that
Thank you.
the timing of
The
this
timing of this
was in fact
was
dictated
in fact
by
by
the fact that
the
as a
mogul,
consequence of us negotiating
HCC
around the
Titan.
nuclear deal, we actually had diplomatic negotiations.
I mean,
and
is it or is
conversations
it
with
not? I
Iran
don't know.
for the first time in several decades. So
Right,
the issue
is
is
it?
not
I
so
don't know.
much that it was a coincidence as it is that we were able to have a direct discussion. John Kerry could meet with the foreign minister, which meant that
I mean, it's not
our
our
ability
business.
to clear accounts on a number of different
I want to
issues
know why I
at
had
the
the
same
phone.
time
That
converged.
was the phone I had.
And it was important for us to take advantage
mayor
of that
gave me a
opportunity, both
phone.
to deal with this litigation risk that had been raised. It was important for us
It's a
to
Windows-based phone.
make sure that we finished the
We
job
finished the
on
job.
the Iran nuclear deal.
The Iran nuclear
And
deal.
Since we were in a conversation with them, it was important for us to be able
Their
to push that
pocket
hard,
is really
in
a
getting these
Titan
Americans, out.
Where does it go?
And let me make a final point on this. It's now been
It's now been
well over a year
well
since
over a year.
the agreement with Iran
We just want people to understand
to,
he's not a criminal.
stop its nuclear program was signed.
It was signed.
And
And
by all accounts,
accounts,
it has worked
It has
exactly
worked
the way we said it was going to
exactly
work.
the way it was going to work.
You
He's the
recall
mogul.
that there were all these horror stories
All
about
these
how
candidates.
Iran was going to cheat and this wasn't going to work. And Iran was going to get
Bill's going to
$150
pull the
billion
lever
to
on the
finance
Jacob Meyer
terrorism
machine
all
and
these kinds of scenarios.
these kind of Mercury sables.
And none of them have come to
And
pass.
none of them have come.
And it's not just the
And
assessment of
it's not just a mogul
our
phone.
intelligence.
It isn't an
community.
8600 tight
It's
end.
the assessment of the Israeli military
It's a
and
their
intelligence
pocket
community, the country that was most
of a
opposed to this
company
deal,
named
that
after him.
acknowledges this has been a game changer.
This has
and
been a
that
game changer.
Iran has abided by the deal, and that they no longer have the
We
sort
no
of
longer
short-term
see the
breakout capacity that would
3500
allow them to develop nuclear weapons.
University Plaza tops. So
What
we
I'm
never
interested
see
in is
Sprint
if
engineers
there's some news to be
leaving
made,
the parking lot of 3500
Why
University Plaza
not have some of these folks who
Why
were predicting
not
disaster
leave
say, you know what,
tops
this thing actually worked.
in a Sprint engineer vehicle.
That would be a
Now
shock.
that would be a shock, Titan.
That would be impressive.
That would be a vehicle that
Some
says
of these
Titan
folks
on it.
who had said the sky is falling.
This is something they
suddenly
did in
said, you know
Buffalo.
what, we were wrong.
They were wrong for driving
And
that vehicle.
We are glad that Iran
A Titan
no longer
Sprint
has
technician
the
vehicle.
capacity to break out in short term
break
and develop
out
a nuclear weapon.
What this Zero
But
really
of course,
is.
that wasn't going to happen.
Of course that wasn't going to happen.
Instead, what we have is
Instead,
the the manufacturing of outrage in a story.
We've given him Western Union payments.
And the only bit
We've
of news
patronized
that
them
is relevant on this is
with
the fact that we
flipping
paid
Visa
cash.
cards in White
Which
Houses.
brings me to my last point.
To my last point.
The reason that
The reason
we had to give them cash
we had to give them
is
cash.
precisely because we are so strict
We're so
in
strict.
maintaining sanctions.
We are so.
And we do not have a banking
We are
relationship
so.
with Iran that we couldn't send them a check.
We are so.
And we could not wire the money.
We could not wire the money.
And it is not at all clear
And
to
it's
me
something
why
we
it
had
is
to
that
do.
cash
Cash.
as opposed to a check or a wire transfer has
It's
made
Hell
this
Date.
into a news story. Maybe because
Hello,
it
Hell
kinda
Date.
feels like
Hello,
some
Leslie Wolf.
spy novel or
German.
some
Shepherd and
crime
Blitzers.
novel
Woof, 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 woof.
because cash was exchanged.
Woof, woof. They're all wolfing.
The reason cash was exchanged is because
I wonder why are they
we
wolfing?
don't have a banking relationship with Iran, which is precisely part of
who we are.
the pressure that we were able to apply to them so that they would ship
That's who we are.
a whole bunch of nuclear material out and close down
And
a
close
bunch
down.
of facilities that, as I remember,
As I
2 years
remember,
ago,
we're
3
part
years
of
ago,
two.
5 years ago, was people's
We're
top tier
Amber
priority.
and we're Daisy.
That
We're
we make sure
Amber
Iran doesn't
and
have
we're Daisy.
breakout nuclear capacity.
We're Amber and we're
They
Daisy.
don't. This worked.
This worked.
Josh Letterman.
We're
Thank you, Mr.
multinational.
President. Repeatedly now,
Hello,
Donald
Apple.
Trump has said that this election will be
Multinational.
rigged against him, challenging really the core foundation
It's a
of our
business.
democratic system.
Hello, Josh Letterman.
Can
Hello.
you promise the American people that this election will be conducted
Can they
in a fair
confirm a
way?
multinational
And are
president,
you worried
please?
that comments like
Somebody
his could
say.
erode the public's faith
Amber
in the
and
outcome of the
Daisy.
election?
Hello.
And if he does win, given
Wolf,
that you
wolf.
just declared
German
him
Shepherd.
unfit, what will you say to the American people?
Blitzer.
Well,
Somebody wolf,
at the end
wolf,
of the day,
please.
it's the American people's decision. I have one vote.
We're missing
I have
5
the same vote
houses.
you do. I have the same vote that
We'll explain those 5 houses on tomorrow's
all the
show.
voters who are eligible all
Channel
across
31.
the country
Today's been
have.
Channel 32
Uh,
at $9
I've
an
offered my
hour.
opinion, but
Enjoy your
ultimately
SSI.
it's the American people's
This has been a Merriweather Inc. production.